Hey, everybody, good morning. For those of you out there who are standing by Donald Trump after this federal indictment because you believe it's something that was created by the current president or other views like, well, everybody else has the copies of these, which isn't true, maybe the fact that Donald Trump's former attorney general, William Barr, has come out denouncing his actions. Let me explain to you the gravity of what the president is accused of doing. It can be described in one word, essentially treason. And it has a relative term in this instance called espionage. As I speak, Donald Trump is on his way to Florida to be arraigned. And I don't say that with glee. I mean, look, I come from the perspective of a guy who really decades ago admired Donald Trump. Why? His real estate development prowess, his zeal for marketing, his understanding of the pulse of the people with respect to real estate. I became a fan of his because of The Apprentice. I even tried to get on The Apprentice, all right? So when I talk about Donald Trump, it's not with hatred, it's with disappointment. Disappointment because Donald, in trying to establish a global corporation, essentially got in bed with the wrong people, in some cases literally, to get gigantic loans to pay off other debts that his businesses had racked up. And he went so far as to run for president when using a social media based experimental campaign strategy that, worked because it seeded the idea that we all hated each other. We really all don't. Used it to get in office. Didn't have help from, frankly speaking, a less than stellar challenger in terms of Hillary Clinton's campaign approach. This was pointed out by none other than former President Barack Obama. All right. But what he tried to do during the 4 years that he was in office, with respect to basically lining his pockets with ways to enrich himself afterward, was found to be criminal. And it's sad that we as a country have allowed ourselves to be so enamored and so bright-eyed and excited and ginned up because Trump pulled the right vocal levers to get some people interested in him and then fervently excited about him, that we've essentially allowed him to be a criminal by behavior and actions and cheered him along the way. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with our need to right our American ship, and I say that with respect to our economy, and create an economic system that gets money to those who need it the most. It's not doing that. Government exists, and is supposed to exist, particularly in the American context, to correct market failure. But over the past, now I argue, 6 years, that has not been the case. And more often, the government has acted like it doesn't know how to manage its own market economy, rather than be the steward of the market economy. That should concern everyone. And so now, Donald Trump is off to another court trial. He may very well not come out of this the way that people think. He's still going to run for president. He could wind up in the White House. Yeah. Guilty. And where would we be then as a country? Not in good shape. In worse shape. Don't like that. And neither should you. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com.